Next up, we've got the Birmingham Bowl, Birmingham, Alabama. Good matchup. This is actually one of the better matchups pre-New Year's Day, I think. Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt here. We got Georgia Tech 2.5-point favorites, 51.5 being the total in this game. So my first thought, naturally, with how awesome they've been as an underdog, although they weren't that in the final game against Tennessee. There were 2 times they didn't cover as a dog. One was against South Carolina, and the other was against Tennessee in the final game of the season. But other than that, Vanderbilt was, 6-2, I believe, ATS as a dog this year. My first thought, hey, it's Vanderbilt catching points. We got to take them here in this bowl game. That being said, it's kind of a surprise to me that Haynes King is going to play in this bowl game. And that's kind of changed things for me because he's the emotional leader of this team. You saw how he willed this team almost to a big upset victory in overtime against Georgia. They fell just short. He played awesome in that game. They do have a couple of people that have hit the transfer portal as well, including their great receiver, Eric Singleton. But it looks like, for the most part, we'll have to wait and see. But I think as long as Haynes King is playing, clearly we've got a situation where I think Georgia Tech's going to be interested. Because often it's a situation in bowl games where if the general leads, the troops will follow, which is what we always hear Shaquille O'Neal say on the TNT panel, and that's the case. Haynes King's playing. You're going to get his teammates now ramped up to play probably in the bowl game as well. So this kind of takes the interest I have a little bit away from betting Vanderbilt. Now more to a game where I probably don't have a strong opinion at the moment. In fact, I'd probably lean a little more Georgia Tech right now because I think with that run game, what they might be able to do potentially on the ground against Vanderbilt, maybe able to have some success there. We'll wait and see. But I think Haynes King playing makes a major difference into just how enthusiastic the Yellow Jackets will be for this bowl game. We know Diego Pavia in the offense, although they did sputter down the stretch. They looked like they ran out of gas a bit. Vanderbilt, the latter part of the season. There's some of their injuries mounted. The defense just hung in there the best they can, but eventually they wore down, and you could see it. Tennessee really had their way with Vanderbilt's defense in that final game. With the Haynes King factor and him playing, I think that matters a lot. And it takes me from wanting Vanderbilt, thinking about taking Vanderbilt, to now I probably lean a little to the Yellow Jackets as long as they stay below a field goal here as a favorite in this game. C-Mac, what do you think here? Georgia Tech, Vandy.
Yeah, the opt-outs that you just talked about, Singleton, really Leary, the receivers. I think the safety might be gone for Georgia Tech, but not too much. And, of course, the backup. And, yeah, Haynes King going to play, it looks like, in this game, which is huge. They'll have most of their team, and it looks like Vandy will, that I have here. There's going to be a few guys gone.
Nobody major for Vandy. Nobody major for
Nothing
Vandy.
huge. Yeah, it might be a tackle or two and somebody on the defense, but nothing huge. When I look right to this, Savannah under here at this number with these two teams, they're going to want to run the ball. I think both defenses were pretty good all year. I mean, they're not great, but they both want to run the ball, kind of control the clock. And yeah, I love Georgia Tech, but as soon as they're even this small favorite, I don't want it. Savannah, I lean Vandy here. Give me them. This should be a great football game with, it's good to see not a ton of opt-outs with some of the better players playing quarterbacks. So Vandy here in the under for me.
All right, good stuff.